Hey guys, Steggy here with the video review of the Psycho Labs Psyko 5.1 headset. Now, this headset has been floating around the internet for quite some time. And now that it's finally out, I got my hands on it and tested it out, and now I'm going to show you guys what I think about it. Now, one of the first things I want to talk about this headset is just the ingenuity of it. Now, back in 2009, this headset was unveiled from Psycho Labs at CES. And this headset won CES's Most Innovative Award that year. So what's so different about this headset than other 5.1 headsets? Well, with most 5.1 headsets, they achieve discrete 5.1 sound by having multiple small drivers in the ear cups to have the different sounds pumping out at you. The only problem with this is that they're very bunched together, so it doesn't really give you that spaciousness that you'd get from a home theater setup, and the quality that you get from those smaller drivers isn't as good as, just two normal drivers from a stereo headphone. So what Psyko has done with their headset is house 5 30mm drivers in the headband and use a series of hollow tubes known as waveguides to direct the sound from in front of you and behind you to get you the sound. In this, the company hoped to recreate a home theater experience as closely as possible. So now let's just get on to the design of the headset. Now the first thing you might notice about this headset is that it's huge. This is one tank of a headset. I weighed this thing in at 550 grams, while in comparison, Sennheiser HD 595s weigh 311 grams. Some of the comments I've been getting as far as this headset goes just questions the comfort of it because it is rather large and it is rather heavy. Well, when you first put it on your head, you do notice that weight. But after a minute, you do become accustomed to it, and you don't really feel like you're wearing anything that heavy. The only thing that I'd recommend is to try not to rock back and forth because you will feel the headset shift. As far as the microphone goes, it's pretty simple. It just pops in and out. It doesn't really have that flexible gooseneck design that other popular headsets have. The only ergonomics that you get is pivoting from left to right. Now here's a clip of the microphone in action so you guys can get a gauge of its audio quality. After giving the microphone some listening, I found the responsiveness to be nice, and as far as the quality goes, it's okay. I mean, I've used worse microphones certainly, but I've also used better. Alrighty, the last thing I wanted to go in as far as the headset goes is the ear cups right here. If you notice, you can actually pop open the ear cups just by pressing in right there, which will allow you to choose between a closed headset and a normal headset. But how does this actually perform? Well, if you are doing long gaming sessions, you can actually notice some steam start to kind of form on that clear plastic wall. So it is good to just pop these open and let them air out a bit. As far as the sound quality, in my ears, I thought it decreased a little bit when I opened it, so I usually have it closed. The other reason why you'd want these closed is to kind of keep neighbors from hearing the sounds. That's what headsets are really designed for. Unfortunately, open or closed doesn't really make a difference because with the drivers up here, you can actually hear the audio coming from here. I'm actually going to pump some audio through these right now so you can hear what I mean. Alright, now moving on to the amp. As you can see here, Psyko has a dedicated amplifier for use with the 5.1 headset. You have the 4 jacks right here, and you have a fixed cable that has the 4 jacks that will go into your PC's sound card. So, some of the controls you might notice on this is the master volume control, which also turns on and off the amplifier. And you have the bass control for your subwoofers, and then you have LED indicators that show you what drivers are currently active when you're listening to music or playing games. So if you're hearing something come from your back right, you're going to see that LED indicator light up on your amplifier. One of the things that I was curious about when I first got this headset and amp combo was I was wondering if I could use this for other headphones. You have the regular just green jack there that you could just kind of you put this as a pass-through between your computer sound card and your headphones. Unfortunately, when I tried that way, I got some background hiss and a decrease in audio quality. After a talk with one of Psyko's representatives, I learned that the amplifier was specifically optimized for the Psyko headset, so there are no guarantees that it will work with any other headphones, which is kind of a bummer. Alright, here's an audio sample of the Psyko amp being used with a pair of Sennheiser HD595s. But onto the subject of Psyko's customer service, I was really impressed. I emailed them on a Wednesday morning and got a response in 1.5 hours. And the representative even offered to call me just to kind of help me through the problems that I had, though it didn't really warrant it, so I declined. But I just really like the fact that they kind of go that extra mile. Instead of you having to, call 1-800, dial 1 for English and all of that jazz. You don't have to deal with that with them. They'll actually call you and help you with your problems. Alright, on to the sound. This is where things get a little bit tricky. I first tested the Psyko 5.1 headset for music and movies. In that testing, I felt that the headset fell a little bit short. The immersion factor that I look forward to when using headsets or home theater setups was just not present with this headset. When watching action movies, I couldn't get sucked in even with the 5.1 sound. When people would have conversations, by the time it got from the drivers in the headband to my ears, it sounded like I was hearing them through a telephone. It was muffled and tinny when compared to other headsets that I own. The sound from the subwoofers was okay, but doesn't really compare to dedicated subwoofers from speaker setups that I've listened to, and it actually kind of made me prone to ear fatigue a little bit faster than other headsets would. If you don't know what ear fatigue is, if you've ever listened to music really loud in your car, like on a road trip, and you have that kind of throbbing feeling, that's kind of what I mean there. But with the highs and mids the way that they were, even in heavily orchestrated scenes in movies, I just couldn't find myself being immersed like I would love to be, and the quality of the audio was leaving much to be desired. But how does this transfer into gaming?